Let's talk. What you wanna talk about? Let's talk. What you wanna talk about? Kitchen talk. Let's talk. What you wanna talk about? Kitchen talk. Let's talk. Conversations that cool. Kitchen talk. Let's talk. What you wanna talk about? Kitchen talk. Let's talk. Conversations that cool. Let's talk. What you wanna talk about? Let's talk. What you wanna talk about?
I see you, friends, grooving to it. I see you.
Grooving.
Okay. Hey. It is Kitchen Talk CTC.
Conversations that cook.
That is what they do. I love it. Listen, we here. We got Auntie V back in the kitchen. We got to talk about that money.
Ooh, I
If
got the
anybody
green
get
on.
any.
I got the green on for it. Let's get it.
Let's talk about
Right.
if anybody get any money.
If anybody getting any money,
Right.
That part right there.
That part,
You
that
know,
part.
I'm at the point where, okay, if I want some of I saw some of it today, and I'm like, I want all of that back. However, as long as I don't have to give you no more, I'm kind of there.
Yeah.
Just don't let me have to give you no more. That's kind of where I am. So we about to dig into it. Auntie V, this is what I love about Auntie V. This is Valencia Cain. She is the owner and founder, entrepreneur, just all around guru with this thing for Jack and Dots, tax preparation, but she do everything, financial coaching, all of it. She just do all of it, and I love it. Is my Auntie V? That's what I call her, but it is Valencia Cain, MBA Valencia Cain, soon to be Dr. Valencia Cain, but it's coming. So that's where we are. Always comes into the kitchen and just helps us out with tax stuff, with anything financial we can ask. We can, and she'll let us know. She'll do the research if she got to, but she gonna give you the good, and be honest about it and tell you what to do. Now, if you don't do what she say do, that ain't on us.
That's on you.
That's on you. Don't listen. What I found out is you can only be a scammer for so long. It's gonna catch up to you.
Gotta get you.
It's gonna catch up to you. And 9 times out of the 10, it's gonna catch up to you when you really don't need it to catch up to you. When
Right.
you really don't need it to catch up to you. So just be honest in all your dealings with the I, the R, and the S, and other folks too, but definitely. So, Auntie V, what else I love about her is she sends me an agenda of what we gonna talk about every show, and we runs it down. Now, when friends get a hold of it, y'all know how he do. Y'all know how he do. But we
If
gonna
you
dig.
don't
We gonna
know, now you know.
right. We gonna dig right in. So Auntie V got some new tax season 2022 updates for us. All right, Auntie V.
So, hi everybody. The updates is a lot. As you can remember, every time I come on here, I keep saying that 2023 and 2025 we're gonna have a rough tax year. I have been saying
Mm,
it over and over and over again. It is coming to pass. There
mm,
is some of the things you can do to beat it, but this year you must be prepared.
mm,
You don't have a choice not to be prepared because there's too many things out there that can hurt you if you are not prepared. So I want to kind of talk about some of those things because um, a lot of things changed. I just came home last night from a conference, an IRS tax conference in Vegas. And I spent 4 days in class trying to learn new updates. They gave us 15 lectured speakers, including
Wow.
the top notch from IRS, that we got to actually hard knob with and talk to and really get personal with as to what are y'all really doing. Um, to get off subject for a second, some of the things that's forthcoming in 2024 is going to be good for the taxpayers. Um,
Okay.
really good for the taxpayers. When it comes down to you being able to upload information directly to them and not have to worry about it going back to them. So there's a lot of good systems for the taxpayer. Your audit letters going to be online. Everything is going to where they're trying to really make it feasible for you not to have to stress over what they send you. So that
Mm.
is 2024 stuff that they actually told us about a lot of that stuff. But for next year, being prepared, waiting on all your documents is vital. Filing too early can hurt you. You got to
Mm.
slow down and wait on all of your documents because some documents are going to come late, and that is on purpose so you can file without them and they can audit you.
Oh,
So we're going to put a pin right there so they can audit.
wow.
So jumping the gun, using your last check stub, and all of those things are coming to pass. I keep saying this against the law, but because they have not enforced it, they are now going to start enforcing a lot of that stuff. And
Mm.
my personal thoughts is the reason why they're going to enforce a lot of this stuff is because all of this stimulus get it back somehow, and they're going to get it back on the backs of the taxpayer.
I told
They're
y'all.
going to recoup it. Yeah, but they're going to recoup it somehow, and they're going to recoup it from the people they audit. So that's going to be your key factor. Um, Children is always the number one topic on the tax return. I can get this money for my kids. No, you can't. What happens is that a lot of the rules for these kids really have changed. So one of the main rules was that you get social tax credit, and it increased this year to 3,000. It is going back to $2,000 next year. So what this is gearing is that people there are going to be smaller refunds out there. I know you got
Mm.
10,000 this year. Don't expect with six next year.
Mm.
The
Wow.
money that they're reducing, the greatest that they have reduced, is going to reduce the amount of your refund. So please, please don't look for these huge refunds because you're probably not going to get a huge one. The number one big change is the 1040 have changed again. Next year you will see a new 1040. Some of the lines that you're used to seeing have been removed and new lines have been added. Some of the stuff
Mm.
added is there's a whole section now for currency and virtual currency. We're going to discuss that later in detail, but that is one of the main sections that's now on the 1040. They gave it its own section. You're going to do something with this
Oh,
cryptocurrency. So they gave it a whole section. So now you really have to follow that all the way through. This is not a year that you should even try doing your own taxes. You should
Yeah,
seek a
I,
professional. I don't care if you find them in the Walmart, the Kmart, under the bridge, wherever you find them at. You really gonna need one this year.
I have a question
Suckers, I
already.
know you only have a little bit. Go for it. I like it. Let's go. Go.
Okay, I got to ask with the crypto. That's when you pull money out, right? So if you still have crypto, just like your stocks, until you pull out or take your investment back, that's when you have to account for it. Is that correct?
Not anymore. Not anymore.
So you
So
have
that's
to
why we're gonna have
state
a whole
what you.
crypto discussion.
So you're saying we
Most
have
to
to
it now,
state how.
friends. So we're gonna skip. Let's just hit your cryptocurrency and knock it out
get
now.
it? Yeah, let's talk about the
Now the
crypto
rules
because he
for
ain't even gonna let that go.
I know it because he did. What if you gift cryptocurrency? So let's say, for example, it's Christmas time, and I said, "Oh, I
Right.
met friends. He's a nice guy. I'm going to gift him some cryptocurrency." I now
Mm-hmm.
have to answer that question on the tax return. Did I gift any? So not only did I not take it out for me, but I gifted it to
Mm-hmm.
you. and I just made you the responsible party. You didn't even know you
Wow.
liked the gift. Now you don't know that because I gifted it to you, I just included you in on something that you wasn't prepared for.
Right. Because now I
So
gotta
that is
include
one
that
of
in
the
my
big
taxes.
things. Absolutely. So now that is a big thing on cryptocurrency. So what they taught us is that because cryptocurrency, and they cannot tell you who the owner is, the person has never really stepped up, even though we have a name in our heads, but that has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with the little boy who just got arrested. He's not even it. He just made a lot of money and did poor management.
Mhm.
But the bottom line to that is that, and because crypto is crashing so hard, and because crypto have been turned into what not created for.
Mhm.
It was created for undercover scene. Now it's wide open, and everybody buying and selling and kicking and da. They showed us how cryptocurrency now is strictly a long number. And if you sell it or gift it to somebody, that number comes out of the database and cannot be used again because I was the owner. I gifted it to friends. Now my name removed and his name was added. I'm not responsible for it anymore. I just made him the responsible party for it. And that's out of the network. My name is out. My name is now in. So it's a whole big deal to what you can and cannot do. Yes, if you take it out, you're responsible for it. Yes, if you whatever. But now they're making every company that is dealing with cryptocurrency issue you a tax document like stock.
Mhm.
So you gotta wait on that. You gotta log in those accounts and print those forms out because I didn't take anything out. But it didn't
Yeah.
mean you didn't trade behind the scenes. You
Yeah.
still gotta be prepared for what really happened. So it's a lot to it and being prepared about it. So let's look at a day trader. They trade every minute of the day. 15
Right.
hours a day, they're doing some kind of in and out, in and out, in and out. Those people typically right now don't get any kind of tax document. They get a printout, a summary of everything they traded. Well,
Mhm.
let's say you bring me this trading sheet. How the heck am I supposed to know what to do with it when I don't trade? How am I going to properly do your taxes when I don't trade? I don't know the market. But you gave me this form, say, I got cryptocurrency. I sold, I bought, I sold, I bought, I sold. What am I supposed to do with it? Now I'm going to make you go to a company and let them convert that into the proper document, and then you bring that back to me.
Mm.
Oh
The
wow.
company that is creating the proper document for you. That's all they're
Right.
doing. I'm affiliated with one. I could send it to them. They take those sheets and convert them into what's supposed to be, and then they give me the document to file on your taxes. But I am not going to spend 25 hours of my day converting your document. I don't know it.
Right.
So you can't to do something with a document that's foreign to them when they don't trade. But people bring it to you and
Mm-hmm.
expect you to do it just because you're the accountant. Well, hell, I can play with these numbers, but I don't lose. So you got to also help the person properly help you. And if you don't
Mm-hmm.
do that, then they school. I'm not paying y'all fine because cryptocurrency is the number one audit in 2023. I'm not paying the fine for you. So bring me the right stuff. I'll do your stuff. But I'm not going to sit there and take my whole day and convert this for you. Not doing that. What other question, friends? Your brain's still turning.
Man, it's turning because
It
one of
is.
the key things, especially when it comes to investment, is you're not actually taxed until you sell the stock. And essentially crypto is the same. You're not actually taxed until you sell the coin. So you're saying that even if I don't sell it, I have to report what you have in your portfolio. Is that correct?
If you buying this like on the day trade, they buy now this minute, they sell to buy something else. So they buy this continue. It's a buy and sell process on that day trade.
Right,
It's
right,
truly a buy and sell process. So it
right.
is not like the stock when you buy that stock and you let it sit until you make a withdrawal. That is absolutely
That's
different.
different.
Yeah,
the
that's what I
crypto,
wanted to know.
buy
Correct.
and sell by the minute. So
Right.
you're saying I didn't sell anything. Yes, you did. You bought and you sold. You bought and you sold.
But
So
no, if
yes,
I
you got
was
a document to be prepared.
so like I
But
consider myself a long-term trader, which means
okay,
I bought, but I didn't sell. I'm still holding. I'm still holding. So I can continue to buy and hold, but I'm not giving that information away in terms of this is what I made for my taxes to say, okay, this is the amount
right,
of money I made
because
from the
that's different.
correct. That's what I
Because
was
that's
turning my
different
mind on
from the that's different from the
that.
trading part. You
Right.
are looking at yours like a long term. So say
Correct.
you bought some coins and you did nothing else with it but bought it.
Right.
You don't have to report anything about that because all you did was bought it.
Correct.
But if you decided to pay for something with it or something else, then you change the dynamics of what you bought. Then you
Right.
change the rules of what you have to do. But
Yeah.
that what you're doing is just like buying stock. As long as you
Right.
bought it and let it sit,
Okay. I'm
you
good.
do nothing with it. You don't
Yeah.
have to worry about it at all. The moment you do day trading, where you constantly buying and selling these bits and pieces and coins and da 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 da, you must report it.
Wow.
Big
Wow.
difference, but it's the same entity, but it's
Yeah.
a big difference. You must report it.
Yeah. That's big. That's big.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's a lot. And that gifting is gonna be the people giving it to other people because they're trying to avoid taxation and they think they're doing something by giving it away as a gift. They're not. They're not helping the other
Yeah. So
person.
then, and is that a bit? Well, they may not be helping the other person, but are they helping themselves because you're giving it away as a charitable gift? Is that considered a tax write-off?
It doesn't fall under charity though. It falls up under gifting.
Ah,
And that's
okay.
two different things. So just because I gave you something, don't mean I gave it to you for charity reasons.
Unless it's a
When I bought
charity.
you a watch for Christmas, that wasn't a charity. It's the
Right.
same
Right.
type entity. So no, it doesn't help them for charity purposes at all. Besides that, because they bought it the first time and they disposed it in a gift, they still got to tell the IRS what did you do with it. They still got to be
Right.
responsible for their side, and then they make you responsible too because they got rid of it.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, don't nobody
So
give
that's
me
two
no
taxation.
Bitcoin. I don't want that. No
I'll
Bitcoin
take
gift.
it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
I
I'll
ain't
take
even trying to
She
get
don't
in
want
all of
any
that.
of it.
it.
No. You sell it, transfer it, make it real money,
Yeah, but
and
that's
then
just gonna
give
be
it to me.
you. And then yeah, you don't have to worry about it. If you get the real dollar, you good. Yeah, just
Yeah,
take the
give
green
me the
dollar.
real
And
dollar.
that's it. So let's go back to we did the 1040. We know it's gonna be a lot of changes on that. So people be prepared on your 1040. Please your tax preparer to explain to you that 1040. Please understand what's on that 1040. Do not just sign that document anymore without truly knowing what you're signing. Because when you do, the government say you are 100% responsible.
Mhm.
So anything wrong, you could be fined as well. Yeah, you can report your preparer, but the government gonna say you signed for it. So they want you to truly know what's on there.
Mm-hmm.
So we talk child tax credit. We know that's reducing. Everything these credits this time is going back to pre-COVID. So people did a lot better
Mm.
during pre-COVID days when
Yeah.
it came to taxation. Everything is going back to pre-COVID. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
laws and rules is dropping off the books completely. They're expiring. Everything has a time limit on it when it comes to a law. It is not indefinite. Every time limit has a certain amount of time on it, and they can expire. And we have
Mhm.
about 14 laws this year that is expiring,
Mm-hmm.
or converting back to the old way. One or two, some of them, they're making changes to about that many of main ones. I mean, it's thousands, but what typically affects the normal person is about 14 or 15 that's going to affect most people. So we have to be prepared for the expiring laws that's coming. Tax credit going back to 2000 child, no longer $3,600, $3,000, so they're losing that amount of money at the refund already. So it's showing you how it's going to decrease already. This is big. The age, you know how children under the age of 16 was always eligible for child tax credit.
Mm-hmm.
Under age of 17 was always eligible. They dropped the age to 16. So if your child is 16, they no longer will get that $2,000 child tax credit. Now
So,
the
but
child
that's
has to be
kind of
15
crazy
But you're still taking
and
care and
younger.
raising a child.
correct. You still taking care of that child, and most you got people taking care of their kids till they 20, 21, 22. But okay, the law said 18,
Oh,
but they still under your house at
you say
18
20,
before
21,
they go.
22. But they increased the age of a college student to 25. It was 24. Now you got to insure them and keep them on to their 25 and no longer 24.
Wow.
On your insurance.
On
Major
your
change.
insurance. Yeah.
You are
But I'm not gonna get
responsible
no
one for
credit
them.
for
If
my
they're not-
16-year-old.
Wait, now here's the difference. Here's the difference between that 16-year-old and that 21-year-old. If your 21 to 25-year-old is still in college, you're going to get all credit for them, including earned income credit and child tax credit, because they are classified as a student. Don't nothing fall in here make me leave. As a student. So they're going to get full, but your 16 and your 17 and your 18 and your 19, what the world are we doing with
So
that?
They get nothing for it, but they still in your house. Wow.
wait, well, what if your 18, 19, or even 17-year-old is in college?
Then you get the benefit.
Then you get to take the college benefit for them.
Okay.
And all your credits kick back in because of the status of the child.
So it really
So now
hurts
does
the
this count?
families that the child does not go to college.
It does.
And you know the other thing I thought of, if you're 16 now, you need to get a job. 16, 17, 18, you need to get a job. Because without it, you're not going to get the tax benefits.
Nope. Not anymore.
Wow.
That is
Okay,
crazy. What
I
if
gotta
they're
put this
dual
in.
enrolled? What if they dual enrolled? So if they're in high school
So,
and taking college classes,
You take the college credit. You can classify them.
yeah, I think you
Yes.
classify. I agree
so
with
then
that.
I need to get my
You
16-year-old dual enrolled.
Dual enrolled. Yep. You got to get them dual
Your
enrolled.
16-year-old allow you to get. Your 16-year-old gonna still allow you to get head of household or whatever your filing status. It's gonna allow that, which is also money. It just doesn't allow the earned income where the large amount of money comes in at.
Right.
So that is the part that you're going to be losing, because the larger of most refunds for normal working low income people is the earned income credit. That's
Right.
where they get all of their money from, the earned income credit and the child tax credit. So if I'm eliminating a portion of your money by eliminating your child tax credit, I've taken $2,000 away from you off the top for every
Already.
child that's over the age of 15.
No.
I've already reduced by that. But I did not reduce your earned income credit because you still qualify for that if you meet the threshold, the dependency of the child, the relationship of the child. So it is a set of criteria. If you meet those, you still get the earned income credit. But I'm taking away your child tax credit because your child happened to get a year and stay alive. That's the real truth. That's it. So you already losing money that you were accustomed to, and you knew when the child became 17, you already knew you were going to lose it. But now I'm going to take it away from you a year earlier.
Wow.
And that's
is
where
this
one of the biggest parts.
Is this because some of them are working? So I know when we turned 16,
No.
we got jobs. So they just doing that because, like, if you
It's just
16
to me, it's
and you working, but your parent is claiming you, that means you just get all of whatever they took from you back, right? Or your parent gets it back.
no. See now that 16-year-olds are required to file too.
Yeah, now you filing.
That 16-year-old can get his little money too. He can get
Right.
his little
But
money, and you
but
still can claim
before
it.
they weren't, right? Before they weren't.
They you they It was always a choice for the child to file a tax return.
Okay.
Parents didn't allow their kids to file because they thought it was going to hurt them. It
Mm,
doesn't hurt the parent at all.
hmm.
If the child pay any taxes in box 2 of their W-2, they're going to get that back automatically, even though they're on the return. All they have to do is file a child tax return, a dependent of someone else, and they will get that little money back anyway. So it's not going to affect them that way. It's really taking away from that working parent who needs the money the
Yeah.
most, in my opinion, because they're already
Right.
working, they already trying to survive, they already paying this high rent or these mortgages. They need the extra more than the child needs to worry about the extra.
Right. Correct.
Hmm.
Yeah. But what it's going to do too is stop them from selling off children. That's really, in my opinion, a lot of the rim of why a lot of this stuff is happening. Because if we don't give credit to you, stop selling those kids off.
Mm.
All the way up
Yeah.
into the
So if they
18.
gonna make it hard, yeah.
Okay, so
Because
here's a
if you sell
question
them
I
off,
have. Go ahead. If you sell them off.
no, go ahead.
So there's another, it's been trending that if I'm a parent, what I can do is put my kids as on my payroll. So now
Mhm.
I get to write that off depending on what I give them, the objectives or whatever it is they're doing. But I can essentially write off the things that I'm providing for them as an employee. Does that still continue to work even beyond 16, 17?
It does. But here's a question for you on that category: are you setting your child up for failure?
Because again, a lot of these people are doing it not when they're older, but when they're younger. So let's say the child is 10 years old, 7 years old, and I give them assignments and jobs to do around the house. That's you an employee now. So I'm writing them as an employee. Does that help or does that hurt the
And
parent?
now you're forcing that child at age 7 to file a tax return.
Wow.
Isn't that some kind of labor law against that? Like, can you work a child at
Well,
that
there's
age?
there's two parts to what France is actually talking about. There's a couple of categories that this really fall in. You can put your children on payroll to help taxable income and a whole bunch of stuff. Before people do it, I would recommend truly researching down to the science before you do it, because we trend it and make it sound so simple and easy, and it absolutely is not.
Hmm.
Okay,
Mm,
now we're gonna give this child $20,000 in income per year
right,
because we
right,
need this write off as this person.
right.
The child is now responsible to file $20,000. So we
Uh-huh.
setting the child up for failure because the child paid no taxes. He got to pay this money. The government don't care if you won. They want their tax money from you because it's in your social. You created it. You did it. So you got to really know when you decide to do this. You got to have all the rules. The simplicity of what is trending is not taught correctly, and it's setting
Mm,
your child up for failure. Yes, if you do it correctly, it could benefit you and the child,
right.
but you have to have more information before I say do that, because I got to know the situation, I got to know the
Mhm,
reason, I got to know the
mhm.
income, I got to know the ins and outs of what you're doing, I got to know the industry that this child. So you see how many things I already want,
Right,
Hmm.
right.
but when they put it on these social media sites, they don't tell you any of that. They tell you you should do this because this is going to help you out. No, 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 no. When do you give all the rules as to what will happen if I do this incorrectly?
Hmm.
What will happen
Hmm.
to my child? How am I setting him to owe taxes at age 7? How am I making him have to do a kitty tax return because they have one called kitty tax? I'm setting him up to fall in these categories at
Wow.
7 because he is a kid. His tax return is going under the kitty tax. He gonna pay them taxes. So
Wow.
so we gotta do better research on all of this stuff and not follow the trend so deeply because all trends given is not given completely.
Right.
We
Mm-hmm.
gave you the beautiful side because that's what we give you. We give you the side that shows you the wonderful side. But when that ball dropping that hammer hit your head,
Right.
somebody is crying in pain. But we didn't tell you that was coming down the pipe. We just told you how wonderful this was.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that
Mm-hmm.
easy. You gotta research those things before you do it. And there is a thing called kitty tax. Darius has a whole rule set,
I did
and kids do
not
pay
know
taxes.
that. Wow.
Yes.
That was a
So we gotta be better prepared for that before we just trend that out. We have to.
right.
Yeah.
Do
Earning
people come up
completed
with this
age.
stuff just not to pay, trying not to pay taxes, like trying to pay as little taxes as possible? So they come up with these ideas. Because I done heard like a few things, like, make a home office. you know, well,
Well,
what
that is
business
So
you
I'm gonna
got?
give you, but I'm gonna give you my personal opinion first. I think people do it because they're out there in business or trying to create some kind of business or trying to create a platform for themselves, and they tell you what sounds good.
Mm,
Because when I tell you what sounds good, and I tell you my fee to get you this situation handled correctly is $3,000. You come and you drop me my 3 grand, and I screw you.
mm,
I've
mm,
seen it, I see it, and I fix it daily. So because they told it to you, I'm gonna say this: research the person,
yeah.
research their company, go to the Better Business Bureau and see who you're working with. See, is there any complaints out there on them? Put the company name on the internet. It's gonna drop you something. Don't
mm,
take people your $3,000 without knowing who you're taking it to.
Mm,
mm,
That's the real truth of what I really think it is. We're creating platforms for ourselves, and we're charging for our expertise because we have the
mm,
knowledge in that field.
mm,
But what if I told you, you know the knowledge I really have, but what if I told you I had a mentoring program and I can teach you how to get government contracts and do all of this? Well, that sounds great to a business owner, and that's exactly what I need. I need to get this free money. You come
right.
and you pay me. The lady here is getting them $25,000 per head,
Wow.
and they getting contracts.
Zero contracts.
wow.
Yep. Wow.
And I did at least 10 of her clients this year alone who showed me paid receipts for 25 grand and haven't gotten the first contract right here in this city.
Wow.
And I
She's
suppose
on the
it's their
billboard.
fault. It's their fault because they ain't doing the plan right.
Oh
Because
my
it
God.
sounded good, it was easy, it sounded good, it was easy, and somebody
Yeah.
was doing the work for them, so they
Yeah.
paid for it. You do pay
Yeah.
for what you want now, but
Yeah.
it doesn't mean you're getting what you pay for. So
Yeah.
you have to be mindful of it. You pay for a service, but it doesn't mean you're getting a service. So these people got nothing, and they have lucrative businesses. And I asked one girl, "Why did you pay her when you running this business like this and making $300,000 a year? What the heck you needed her for? What did
Yeah.
you need?"
Yeah.
So greed
Yeah.
steps in, and we do stuff for greed, more money, even though we're making it. We're not happy with what we have. We
Mm-hmm.
got to have more, and that's what costs in the end. You got to slow down, and everything ain't for you. Everything that glitter ain't gold. You can't get it
It's
all.
not gold. It's
But
not
you
gold.
also got to do research. You
Yeah.
got to research. You got to research the person, the company. You got to talk to some of the former clients. You got to talk to some of the current clients. It's all technology based. You can find any of them on social media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look them up and talk. somebody gonna talk back to you, especially if they mad with her. They're gonna answer the phone real quick.
Oh yeah.
You know not to do that. Yeah. So that's the real answer to we doing all of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
People just like somebody. People are lazy. They just want somebody to do it for them.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't do your own legwork, you're hurting yourself.
You're hurting
Because when I
yourself.
do business coaching and teach people that, I teach them you must know your business from front to back. You got to know
Mhm.
from A to Z on how this operation runs. Now,
Mm-hmm.
after you learn the operation, you can outsource it. But if anything go wrong and anything look funny, you will know it. You know your company from A to Z. You didn't
Right.
just hire somebody and say,
You
come in
can
and do
catch it.
this. And that's why I
Yep.
teach people small business.
Yep.
Start on a spreadsheet. Don't go out and pay all these platforms to make your appointments and keep all your bookkeeping. No, no, no. You start doing it yourself. If you
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
do it, you will definitely know what that company is paying out, is spending this money on. So if something hit your desk look funny, hey, wait a minute. You can't steal from a person that's aware of their own business
Right.
because they know what to receive. But yeah, so we got to do that a lot better.
Mm.
Oh, friends,
Okay,
we got
where
to
you
catch
stop
up.
there, Auntie? Where you stop there, Auntie V?
I stopped earning some credit. We went
Okay.
to number 5. We're gonna go to number 6,
Oh,
and we're gonna keep
charitable
skipping.
contributions.
Charitable contributions, how they have changed. Charitable contributions is going back to pre-COVID as well. The standard deduction, everything did increase, so it's still going to be hard for a lot of people to itemize, but you still now have a better potential to itemize because your real life, in most cases, really beat the standard. They had it so crazy before where it was hard to even meet the standard. One of the big things is that charity is big. When people want to, when you go get the slip, please get the slips, fill out the slips, or have your tax person to fill out the slip and put it with your tax document. These are some of the things that they're going to be auditing back and forward. They want to verify that you do have at least the document. So we got to be good on making sure. Don't just put it on the tax return. And the tax preparer should not keep putting stuff on there that a person didn't show you a document for, because the IRS now going to make us responsible for not seeing the document, even though we put it on the return because you told me you did it and I took your word. I can no longer take your word. Not on
Right.
charity. On most things, I can't. So the standard deduction did increase. We're going to number 8, mileage. Mileage did increase to 62.5 cents or something like that. The guy in the class told us the big thing this year is people got to start doing a mileage log. It is going to be imperative for a mileage log. So whatever industry you in and with these vehicles and stuff, you're going to have a mileage log. Even if you physically write it yourself, it is actually a document and it will be accepted. But if you are audited, you want some type of log from you now.
And
And
there's, there's so many.
we gotta start figuring out how to do mileage.
There's so many apps out there that will actually do that for you. So I think people should research that so that they don't have to, constantly do that.
Yeah,
Your cell phone literally does it
handwrite it.
for you.
Yeah.
But I do want to go back to charity. You told us what was the amount for the charity piece?
For what?
The amount allotted. You said it went up. It
Your charity
increased.
amount is whatever you said the standard deductions.
Right.
I do have a standard deduction page to tell you what they increased to. Um, in 2023, the standard deduction for a single person is $13,850. For married filing joint tax return, it was 25.5 last year. It's 27.7 this year. For married filing separately, it's 13,850. For head of household, it's 20,800. It was 18,008 last year, I think it was. And for qualifying widower, it's 27.7. So they went up again.
So you
Every time a standard deduction increases, it typically helps the taxpayer reduce their AGI and reduce how much taxes they owe. So you do want them to go up yearly. So
right,
because it does help you out.
right.
So 2 questions, Auntie V.
Yeah.
One,
Mhm.
what's the difference between just single or head of household? Do you file head of household even if you just single?
No,
or
you do
you have
not.
to have dependents?
Single is your filing status. You have to
Okay.
have a qualifying dependent in order to file head of household.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're single with no children, you have to file single, but that is your version of head of household. You're single. That's what you're filing. Yeah.
Okay. And now I can't buy no children no
And
more.
only
So
qualified dependent get to file head of household. Yeah.
okay.
Residential energy credit.
Wait, let me ask you my
Yeah,
second
your
question,
residential
Auntie B.
energy. No. Oh, I'm sorry. Go for it.
Second question is who who needs to report mileage? Is that like a part of your job or
Mm-mm.
Yeah. The business owners,
Yeah.
people that has the businesses, your truck drivers, your couriers, your Uber, your
oh,
all of
okay.
those people, anybody that's doing a service industry and driving for a living needs to report mileage.
Okay. Okay.
And two, I get business owners. So if you're a small, well, I guess that qualifies for small business owners. If you are driving
Yeah,
back and forth with your vehicle, you need to keep up with your
yeah.
mileage.
Lawn care services, they drive daily from house to house. So yeah, they're a small business considered. A
Oh, okay.
landscaping service
Okay.
is a big company. A lawn care service is a small man who's doing 20 houses a day. But yeah, he
Right.
get to have his expenses. But now he can depreciate his vehicle, but he also needs to know the mileage he's driving.
Now, and
Oh,
can they
okay.
do both mileage and gas?
Yes, mileage, gas, oil changes, tires, repairs, car insurance, driver's license repairs. I mean, driver's license renewal, any kind of
Mhm.
insurance they have to have, even including the car insurance. Yes. They can also do repairs to the machinery. The lawnmower need to go in the shop. All
Yeah.
of those things get to be deducted. The oil that they buy to put in the lawnmower, the gas they buy to put in the lawnmower, all of that gets deducted. The trailer they have to buy to haul this stuff around, and the tag on the trailer, and the tires on the trailer.
Yep.
So yeah, they
Wow.
get all of it.
Okay.
It
Get a
was
lot.
to my understanding that if you do the mileage, you can't do the gas, or if you do the gas, you can't do the mileage. But really, you can do both.
You can do both. You can do both, and you can depreciate the vehicle that you're using for up to 5 years also. So you can do all of
Oh,
them.
huh.
Depreciation give you
How-
a big drop.
So the depreciation would be, so let's say the landscaper paid off the truck that he's using. How does he put that into his taxes that the truck is depreciating? Because he's already paid it
You
off.
do a 4562 appreciation form. So I'm a back it. When you say a note on the truck, he also gets to do that truck payment. It's an
Correct.
expense to the company.
It's an expense to the
Without
company.
making the
Correct.
payment, he cannot use the truck to do the work. So he also gets to do the payment to the vehicle. Now,
Right.
once even if you have the payment and all of that, he still gets to depreciate that vehicle for 5 years, which means that the first year you do it, you get a high depreciation, and every
Hmm.
year it drops until it zeroes out. But the good part of using depreciation and stuff is that let's say you had $10,000 worth of depreciation value left. It rolls until you spend it up. As long as you stay with the same tax preparer, you get to spend it, even though you're not physically depreciating that vehicle no more. The
Hmm.
roll up, the carryover, continually use until you spend every dime.
Okay. Okay.
Wow.
That's good to know.
So it's
That's
good if they
good.
get with somebody and stick with somebody that
Right.
can really keep them going from year to year. You should always do that, especially being in business.
Right.
Hmm.
Right.
Woo. This
So
is
Yeah.
some
a
things probably won't hurt. I know that's a lot, huh, friend?
It is, but I stick with my same person. She's to take care of me,
Yeah,
and I'm
you
good.
should.
You with me? I'm
You,
good.
as long
But
as you're
there's
comfortable
some
with
good
them,
stuff
you should.
that's changing that we
Yeah.
need to. Okay, now, and you said something earlier. It's not just a one man show. If this is some new information, I'm also responsible for knowing that and sharing that with that tax preparer to say, hey, here's some of the things that I heard, or here's some of the things. How can this benefit me? Right?
hmm
or does it benefit me at all? Yeah, but it is
Yeah.
good to talk to your
Correct.
preparer and ask questions,
Yeah.
because they do need to know what when your lifestyle change, because your lifestyle change could hurt or help you, and if it changes, we need to know how to address you in the next direction with your
Uh-huh.
new change.
Right.
What happens if you get a divorce? What
Right.
if
Oh,
you
what
never
happens if
tell
you
us you
get
got a
married?
divorce?
What happens if you
What
get
happens if
married,
you get
friends?
if you
They in
never
your
tell us
pocket.
any of that, then we don't know. Yeah, we don't know what to do if you don't tell us the new things that's happening in your life. You have
Right.
a new baby, you custody of a child.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot of back and forth. So being honest is the key. When they ask you questions, you should just reveal the answer. I have people that say, "Oh, you're too nosy." Okay, I'm fine. But what I'm gonna do for you is now I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna walk to the door. Where you going? I'm putting you out because you have
I love it.
no.
It's about the
Oh,
impact. It's about the impact. All of this impacts us in one way or another.
And it impacts me in the pocket. You
yeah.
get messed up, I pay $2,000. I can't afford it.
Right.
I can't afford it. I see at least 400 people a year by myself. I can't afford it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I feel like you're going to be more trouble than you're worth, I got a door to put you out of.
Got to
I'm
go.
not doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you feel like I'm being nosy about asking you a question, that means you got something to hide. And you're
Mm.
Right.
not going to be honest. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to take notes. Just not do that. So yeah, it makes it hard. So people with the residential energy credit, this is something y'all gonna see a lot of, and people gonna be in all these stores about getting credit for the new washer, dryer, and all those wonderful things that you
Hmm.
can buy, and all these solar panels and all of this
Solar
wonderful stuff.
panels. Yep.
There is
Yep.
new credits. Yeah, there's new energy credits out there. They're calling the energy efficient home improvement credit. Um, they're gonna have to put that on the form 5695 and do part two of the form. I'm telling them where to put it so they don't call it no mess. Here, this is where you gotta put it. It is a credit out there that gives you money back on it, but you also have to look up the product. They're gonna they are putting a site out for you to look up the product ID number to see whether that product truly qualifies. Even though the store told you it did, it may not be on the qualified list.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
So you do want to look
Wow.
at some of that before you just buy this product, just because it had that wonderful tag on it in the store.
Right.
But
Right.
there is a website coming out January 1 for you to look up products. You'll be able to know whether that product qualifies.
Yeah. That
The
makes
other one
sense.
is this new clean, this new clean vehicle credit. And
Right.
all these
Right.
projects and whatever. They do have a
Mhm.
$7,500 credit out there with that as well. And they changed the name of all these credits. There is a deadline for that credit also. So you gotta iris.gov do have all of this on there. So anything that is done after
Mm-hmm.
12/31/20, the credit is dropping to 3,700, 3,750. So they got to go out there and know a lot about a lot of this stuff. But those credits are available to people to actually use who have these hybrids and stuff. They really could take advantage of some of those credits out there too. A midterm, we're gonna hit him real quick and keep moving. There is a new thing called a superseded return. Um, Superseded means that if you file your original tax return between January and April, and you have to make a correction within between January and April, you will not call that an amended return anymore. You will call that a superseded return because it's still within the tax filing dates.
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
only time you will have an amended is if it's after the tax filing date and you have to make a change.
Oh.
Now, the new wonderful side is that an amended return and a superseded return can now be electronically filed up to 3 times. So if you do one superseded, you got two amended you could do.
Oh.
An original is still one, but those returns now you have 3 times. 3 times at it. If you have to do it the 4th time, it has to be mailed in. But you
Oh
can't
wow.
e-file those now 3 times, which is big for a lot of people to do them just over and over. So we don't know why,
Right.
but they do. So
Because
you
they
do have
forgot
that
something
choice now.
in or
You can
just did this or forgot to put that, so they go back and forth.
missing W-2. I didn't get this 1099. They sent it to me late. That kind of mess. I
Yeah.
forgot I worked that job. That kind of mess. So
Right.
Mm.
they do have now to do that multiple times. Um, we also talked to the taxpayer advocate lady who came. Erin is having issues. Can reach out to the taxpayer advocate. They are backed up. They are catching up a lot of stuff. The IRS has caught up all but about 2 million of the backlog they had. So they did tell us how caught up they were. So they're getting pretty current. They want to be close to caught up by December 31st. They know they will not be. They're going to roll some into the next year, but this will be the first year they roll the smallest amount of backlog into any year coming in 2023. This is the first year they're going to roll right at a million in when they're accustomed to rolling about 6 million per year over.
Oh
Ooh.
wow.
So they are catching up drastically. They
Now, what
hired
is
another
a
5,000 people.
taxpayer advocate? What do they do?
Taxpayer advocate helps you out when you get a audit letter and you don't have anybody to help you. You can call a taxpayer advocate and they ask you to send all the information, and they supposed to is the liaison between you and the IRS. So
Um,
they take the information, they do it all. They supposed to get all the information that you need to turn in. If there's an audit, they work with them directly to determine whether the audit was legitimate. If so, this is why. If you need documents, you have to give it to the advocate. The advocate then turns it in, and they work as your liaison between the two.
mm.
So sometimes you get some good ones. I've been trying to be an advocate for years, so that's on my bucket list. I'm gonna get that job. They don't know it yet. They keep trying not to get it to me, but I want to get that job. Yeah. Yeah. So that's big. We only got okay. We short 1099K. We got to spend our last minutes. We did the advocate. Oh, friends, I'm gonna give you some trust information real quick. Oh, let me do this. People, please, 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 still go back to being mindful of how much taxes you're paying. Get your check up and you say you're not paying taxes, you're gonna have a bigger problem this year. Please reach out to somebody who can show you how to get that fixed. It's still broken in a lot of companies, and the companies are breaking it because when a company doesn't take taxes from you, they do not have to match. Force them to match your money. So you don't have to pay all of this money back at the end of the year. People got to get better with that. I still see a lot of people struggling with that. 1099K, this Venmo, Cash App, all these people, you are going to get this form whether you like it or not. The form is coming. Now, there are some loops. They gave us some loopholes to this. They did. And that's why you do not need to do your own taxes. You got to go to somebody who knows some of your loops. Um, we learned in class that a lot of the participants in the class, tax pros like me, they were saying that Venmo say that they are not a vendor and they should not be giving out a document because they're only a transmitter. I say all of them is only a transmitter, but because they are moving this money around, they are responsible and they're gonna make you responsible for it. So only money that's supposed to be taxes being paid on is goods and services. So when you send money, you gotta start putting it in on the description line because they put it in there for you to do baby shoes, skating event, birthday. If it's not a goods or service, then they're not supposed to issue you the document related to that you listed, not a goods or service. But if you're
Mm.
just sending in and not listing anything, all of it is coming to you as taxable income and
Income.
no taxes paid on it. Now, if the Cash App account, whatever kind of account is in your name, you should not be putting that as a business document on the tax return. That should go to line 21 of your 1040 because you are not in business. If that Cash App, Venmo, whatever is in the company name, then it needs to be filed as a company document. It needs to be filed as a
Mm.
business return. So people think that they're going to get by taking that Cash App document and putting it as a business and writing stuff off to get rid of the money. The IRS said we're going to audit you every time you blink your eye. The IRS
Mm.
also told us to be sure to tell your people that we're going to verify every 1099 that hits our system against your tax return. So a lot of people are saying, I'm just not going to use it. They saying, okay, that's fine. Don't use it. I'm going to send you the audit letter. You're going to use it right when I audit you. And you
Wow.
don't
So
want the
I
IRS to
already
audit you.
received that from my Cash App. So there's a form that they ask you to complete to say that to get your forms ready for the tax season. You have up until by December 31st, so they can
Right?
send you the statement.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I haven't gotten that.
Confirm your
Yep.
tax info now. So remember to confirm or update your info by December 31st so we can get your statements ready for tax time.
That's right.
Already out.
So they're coming whether you want it or not.
Mm.
They're coming and you just handle it and do those documents correctly. Now, they did give us a workaround on the document. If it's not goods, they told us what to do. They told us how to descript it out, explain it to the IRS that it's not goods and services, and only make you responsible for the portion that is
Goods and services.
services.
Yes. So if I'm already itemizing my
Yes,
information for the tax preparer, including the stuff that was on Cash App, do I still need to send that in?
still need to do what?
So if I send the information, like I'm already itemizing everything on my Excel sheet. I'm back at the Excel sheet, my man. So if I'm itemizing those things, and some of those things are in my Cash App, do I still have to itemize those things on my sheet, or do I need to have both essentially?
Is your Cash App in a company name or your name?
It's in my name.
Is your Cash App in a company name or your name?
It's in my name.
Okay. Now, on the part that, all right, so because it's your name, now for the part that is not goods and services, on the bottom of your spreadsheet, I would list the things that is not considered goods and services related to my Cash App. Because your tax preparer need a total number to back out.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go.
I got it.
She need a number to back out. You got to give her the number to back out. She can't make it up.
Yeah.
So you tell her what the number is she backing out. She'll know what she's
Right.
backing out. And they keep
Got
it on the total amount.
Yeah. So these are the Cash App items that are expenses.
Yeah,
Got you.
that's right. So that'll help your stuff go back and forth. It's gonna make your tax preparer do a lot of extra work because we gotta juggle in between all of this. But at the same time,
Yeah.
our job to get most takes for you, the taxpayer.
Yeah. Because I'm gonna give her that form and my investment form so that she has all of that information on hand. But
Right.
you made a great point. I want to make it as easy as possible for them so that they can expedite the process for me.
Yeah. Yes. So we don't have to take all year to try to figure out your one stuff. We got 20 more you standing in line. We got to figure out their stuff too. So make it as easy on them as possible. Yeah. Any questions about anything we have had so far?
Auntie V, woo, Lord.
It's deep.
We got 2
to
seconds, my friends. I'm gonna give you the last. I know. I'm gonna give you a quick update on this trust thing. We did our crypto and stuff already. A trust is a very, very complex, very, 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 very complex thing. And you hearing a lot of people saying they forming them and they doing this and they putting a business and they doing this and they doing that. None of it is as simple as they say. If you talking about trust, it will take you 8 hours to just tip the surface, and you still won't have enough information to make a valid decision. But you and I earlier talked a little bit about family trust and stuff like that. So to give you a heads up of how the process will have to work, um, a trust is one of those things where you got to first know why you're doing it. You got to know what your expectations from it is, and you got to know what your plan is. A family trust talked about generational wealth and making sure the family wealthy after you're gone and blah, da, 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 da. That is reasoning on how a trust really works. But a real definition of a family trust is a structure that facilitates the distribution of wealth to the benefit in the trust agreement, such as children, grandchildren, or anybody you name as a beneficiary. Now, with that being said, a trust has to be detailed to the science because you have to appoint a trustee with a
Mhm.
trust. Let's say, for example, if you do not detail out how you want the trust to operate, and you're passed on and you're gone, or you gotten sick or dementia or any of that, if you don't outline every piece in detail, the trust operated where they want to because you didn't give them enough leeway, you didn't give them enough detail to go. There's another one, and then there's so many types of trust. So we're only going to try to hit family and in irrevocable trust. So an example is that you decide to put money into a trust for your children. You get to label how often they get it, how much they
Mhm.
get, at what age, when, if there's a life emergency, how much the emergency is. The people that's getting the money from your trust has to turn in a receipt to the trust, and the trust has to be followed according to how you set it up. So if you don't have enough details, it is useless to do a trust because you got to think beyond daily living. You got to think about if this child decide to get married, do she have enough for the wedding? Is she able to take money out of the trust? If you didn't indicate it, she cannot have it.
Wow. Wow.
Or the trustee gets to make the decision on whether or not she get it if you did not indicate it. Now, another side is
Mhm.
the irrevocable trust. That means that whatever you put in place can never be changed. It
Yeah.
also takes some of the power away from the trustee, which is a good thing because the trustee decides to get mad with your child and don't want to give your child no money for emergency purposes, your child just hungry. But if you put it in a revocable situation and you outline every detail, then the trustee can only follow the rules. Now, the other side of a revocable trust is that if you put it in a revocable trust and you fall out with your own dependent and your child now mad with you cannot take him out. That trust is stuck. So YouTube has a lot of good videos out there on people trying to do these trusts, and you gotta
Right.
come back and you gotta really know lawyers out there doing these videos because trust is so difficult and so complex. And there's so many different kinds. You got the irrevocable, you got the revocable kind, you got the family, you got the business. You could convert that family trust and put the business up under the trust. Because I'm gone, I don't want them to sell this business. I still want my children to make money off of it. All of that goes up under that.
Mm.
But you got to have detail. You got to think it beyond today and tomorrow. You got to think 20 years down the road. If my child have a baby and she don't have money to buy this crib, can she take money out of this trust? She can only turn the receipt in. But if you put those lifelong things in there, they'll always be able to benefit from your trust. But a simple trust to get an attorney to do it starts at about $2,000 just to get the paperwork written,
Wow.
just to get it written. And that's the starting point, just to get it written. And then, are you going to pay your trustee? If so, how much?
Mhm.
Do you pay your trustee take this over for you? Who do you trust well enough to trust with your assets? Because it don't have to be owning liquid money. It could be assets. It could be houses. It could be
Assets
cars. It
too,
could be
right?
businesses. It could
Yeah,
be what you put in your trust. So
yeah,
researching that trust is going to be key before people just go out there doing it. Like they saying, buy this car and put it in the company name. I have to pay. That's a lot. You're going to pay that car note. But there's a credit out there, the IRS, so you could get, last year was 100%, this year's 80% of that vehicle weight. But it's, again, it's criteria and it's guidelines that you got to first follow in order to get the money. So nothing is as simple as people out there making it seem.
Right.
Do your research on that stuff before you just jump out there and say do it. Because nothing is that simple. Anything simple.
Well, you know what? My
pain.
dad has a saying that says it's simple when you, it's not when you don't know. So for those who know what it is and how to
That's
do
right.
it, it's simple because they know, okay, I know what to do this. I know how to do this. I know where to do that. But when you don't know and you're telling somebody, oh, it's simple, it's not simple.
It's not simple.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you can't teach people like they already know it. That's part of the problem.
Yeah.
You teach people like they know it. Everybody don't know it because you know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We over our
This,
time again.
like, right. This been good. This been good. Oh my goodness. Like we went from taxes to trust to Bitcoin to, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Like some of everything about that money. That, you know what? Money is complex, ain't it?
It's not simple.
But
it's easy. But it's easy.
It is.
It's easy. When you know.
When you know. Or when you know somebody that know. Hey, I'm with somebody that knows. So I don't have to worry about it.
It's complex.
Oh, so
I think
thank you.
It's complex. And
I think that's the biggest thing.
You gotta just be prepared.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we gotta be prepared. We gotta prepare ourselves for better.
Well, this is definitely one of the things that one of our talks that we keep on the books, that we keep people reminded of, make sure they get the good information. So, you know, like France says all the time, if you don't know how to play, you're gonna get played.
I'm gonna stop talking. Students, please find your 1098-T before your parents have to file these tax returns. It's on your financial aid profile at every school. Print that out and give it to your parent, please.
1098-T.
Yes.
Man.
Wow.
Because it's almost time for them to do their financial aid.
Parents, that means money. Don't have to tell them about it. That's money for that parent. Please use them.
Yeah. No, they should have did re-up their financial aid in October.
Oh, October. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Well, this has been a good one tonight. A lot of information. Thank you, Auntie V, for hanging out. Thank you, France, for hanging out. Always some good stuff. So
good, man.
And you about to go all the way in, Auntie, for tax. It's about to be tax season on for real.
So we won't be able to have Auntie V back for a minute.
Right.
I know, because I'm gonna do a Zoom with my clients on December 26th. I'm gonna open up the forum because this was only the tip of the iceberg. There's probably 20 more subjects that really needed to be. So I'm actually going to invite to the up and tax.
There was a little bit of a lag there, but you and I talked about this earlier that you were going to open up that Zoom session. So Lisa, we're going to get that Zoom session to you so that the stuff that was covered tonight, trust, is just the tip of the iceberg. I had that conversation with Auntie V, and it was deep. So if you want to know more information, you need to get on.
We spent an hour by ourselves.
Just yes.
But yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
do
That
the
was not even
Zoom to give the clients an opportunity to ask questions. Yeah,
Are you
yeah.
doing it as a
So
Zoom or
so
a
I'm gonna discuss
webinar?
with them. I'm gonna do it as a Zoom call. I'm I'm
Okay.
thinking that's what I'm setting up. I got somebody working with me because y'all know I don't know how to do all that. But
Right.
yeah, but I want them to be able to actually ask questions and figure out. But I'm gonna do it as an invite, so see how many people actually join it, and then
Uh-huh.
so they can actually ask questions and be able to deal with this 1099 and all this other stuff. So I need my clients to be prepared when they come in, because if they're
Sure.
not, I'm not going to be able to service them, because it's
Yeah.
that much stuff happening right
mm, yeah. Got to
That's
log on. So Lisa, definitely post that.
Oh, we will. I'll get it because I'm one of her clients as well.
now. Yeah,
She's my
come
auntie
out
and
and
my
unite.
tax preparer.
Yeah, so yeah, y'all to get that tonight and tomorrow.
Okay. We'll definitely put that up on the you can we share it on our socials?
Yeah.
Or is it limited? Are you
I was
limiting it? It might
and
be
that's
limited.
and that yeah, that's why I was asking, is it
Possible,
a
Lisa. We might.
Zoom or is it a webinar? Because if it's a webinar, you could still people can still type in their questions and you can answer them that way. If it's a Zoom and you want people to open their mic and ask questions, you don't want no whole
Yeah.
slew of folks to do that.
Okay. So let me revamp that then. Let me figure that out. I might just try the
Yeah,
webinar thing.
yeah. So there
Yeah.
is a webinar
Yeah, I'm
option
with you.
in
Thanks for the
Zoom.
help with that.
Yeah, yeah. So there is a webinar
Oh,
option in Zoom.
Yeah. I
okay.
think that's probably the way to go. And then if you
Yeah.
have questions, type it in
They can
because
type it in.
I
And
mean,
if you want me to, Auntie V, I can help engineer that for you. Once you get it all set
Okay.
up, I
Okay.
can be on the call with you
Yeah.
and be like, okay, we got a question here, and ask the question out loud, whatever, so that people can still hear the question that you're answering. So I can help you out with that part too.
Okay.
she's
Okay.
trying to get a
So yeah, I'm
discount
working
on
on
her
the emails and
taxes.
stuff tonight.
France, don't get in my business. Don't get in my business, France.
She want that discount, Auntie
Okay.
V.
France,
Ooh,
don't
she,
get in my business now.
she know how to
You
put you out,
meddling, you done
friends,
gone
real
to
quick.
meddling, as the old people say.
Hey, that's a tax write-off, Lisa. I don't know what you're talking about. That's a tax write-off. That's a service you provided.
Yeah.
Listen, this has been Kitchen Talk CTC.
Conversations that cook.
That is what they do. We have had a good time talking about this, and woo, it's a lot. But listen, people, it's very important because you don't want to end up in no situation. Do
Yes.
not want to end up in a situation. And it ain't worth it just trying to get over it. It is not worth it. It will catch up with you in life.
Right. Right.
It will catch up with you in life. So we're gonna next Thursday is the Thursday before Christmas.
Oh yeah.
French, you hanging out with me next Thursday or
Probably not.
see how they do it, get to be Christmas and
It's
they don't
Christmas.
want to
Maybe
come
we
in the
need
It's
kitchen.
Christmas.
They don't
maybe
want
we
to
need
come
to
in
take
the
a
kitchen on
vacation.
Christmas. We
Might need to take a
we
vacation
probably
day.
will be on vacation next week. We probably will. But just in case, you never know. Just watch the social media and you will find us there. Um, if you want to talk to Auntie V some more, you can actually email her at info at jackin.com if you want to reach out to Auntie V. And then if you are watching us on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching us on Facebook, hit the like button. Make sure you turn on those notifications so you will know whenever we are on here live, cutting up in the kitchen, having some hot conversations and informative conversations. They usually some spark you over here in the kitchen. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Auntie V. Thank you, France. we are going to get out of here, and we will see you.
Bye, guys.
Yeah, we'll see
Talk
you
to
later.
Let's talk, let's talk. What you wanna talk about? Let's talk, let's talk. What you wanna talk about? Talk.